Good evening. It is off the menu. That's the word tonight from state officials who supply food for school lunches.
We're talking about lean, finely textured beef, a beef additive that many parents and school districts say they just don't want to feed to their children. And Erin Calandra reported on the story last November and updates the story tonight. Erin?
Marty, Jen, the story we did last year got a big reaction from parents and schools alike. We uncovered how a beef filler, lean, finely textured beef, made its way back onto school lunch trays across the state, some of it locally. Just 1 year ago, more than a dozen school districts in our area were on a state list. It said they were getting the meat filler known as lean finely textured beef to serve in their lunches. Lean finely textured beef has been making headlines for years now. It's an ingredient used in ground beef and beef crumbles, typically used by schools for tacos and sloppy joes. This is what it looks like. Experts say it's created in part when manufacturers take scrap pieces like this, grind it up, treat it with ammonia hydroxide, and freeze it. Up to 15% of this mixture is then added to ground beef. Last year, we asked some of those districts on the list if they knew what they were getting. They said they didn't, and they said they didn't want it. In fact, one superintendent called our newsroom insisting that we report that he ordered it sent back or destroyed. All districts told us they didn't know that they ordered the lean finely textured beef product because the State Department of Ag didn't label the product on their school commodity list. We went to Harrisburg looking for answers, and since that first report, the state made changes.
We did, in fact, put the better description on our new food ordering system that went live this past January in anticipation of food orders for the current school year.
This is what the label looks like today. It now has a secondary description telling buyers exactly what's inside the beef. But the State Department of Ag didn't stop there.
We no longer offer it.
After changing their software to be more transparent, officials from the Department of Ag decided to stop offering meat from the USDA containing lean finely textured beef altogether.
Because of the outcry, both from food service directors as well as the public, that even though the product was deemed as not having any problems, people just did not want it in their food.
And Pennsylvania doesn't seem to be the only state taking it off the menu. According to the USDA, last year, 8 states ordered ground beef possibly containing lean, finely textured beef, Pennsylvania included. This year, only 3 ordered the beef product. Associate Professor of Meat Sciences at Penn State, Edward Mills, is considered an expert on the product. We talked to him last year about this beef. He told us it was 100% safe, and he still says that today.
There is not a safety issue associated with ammonium hydroxide, particularly at the levels that we're using.
He says beef containing this filler is more affordable. So it's less expensive because it's a less desirable piece of meat.
Sure, if you, I mean, it's less expensive, by virtue of the way we produce it.
He feels taking it off the menu altogether can be hurtful for schools with tight budgets.
You make that decision, you basically eliminate from your supply some lower cost materials that you could be purchasing.
The Department of Ag says it's true that at one point this beef was a popular pick on the commodity list because of the price.
Part of it was because the labeling from the USDA didn't make it very apparent as to what actually was in the beef, that there might have been an additive.
But he says now more parents and school districts are educated about the product, and he says it won't be put back on the state menu unless there's an outcry of schools asking for it back.
Bringing light to this helps everyone, as far as parents and schools and so on. And we appreciate the fact that our previous conversation helped validate our efforts as well as to bring that knowledge to parents.
Now, to watch our original story that aired last year, log on to our website, WJACTV.com. Live in State College, Erin Calandra, 6 News.